plaintiff, Judy Salvaggio, was single for over 20 years, and she was looking for Mr. Right. But instead, she met the defendant, who turned out to be a narcissist and a bigot. Judy claims after the defendant used her for money, he broke up with her, and she's suing him for storage fees and the cost of movers. Defendant Gary Evans says Judy is extremely argumentative, and he broke up with her because she's disrespectful and doesn't know how to treat people. Gary insists Judy kept his ring and exercise bike, and therefore he refuses to pay her anything.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Let's start with you.
I was single for over 20 years, and I was looking for Mr. Right. Instead of finding Mr. Right, I found Gary.
Go ahead.
I came to find out that Gary was a narcissist, a lunatic, a liar, and a bigot. We met on Facebook in December of 2018. And over the next few weeks, we corresponded online and via phone calls and such. And by Christmas 2018, Gary decided that he would drive from Naples, Florida to Missouri to come see me in person. So it was over the next few weeks that I really got to know Gary, but not well enough to see that I was being conned.
But how long did you all date, and when did you break up? Let's go there.
Like, it was a total of like 2 months, like from beginning to end.
How did you all break up? Why did you break up, or what happened?
Well, we basically broke up after Gary went back to Florida after he'd received everything he needed from me, and he made a dumb excuse to break up with me, get into a fight with me on the phone. So I guess he didn't have to deal with me.
Okay, so you believe he hustled you?
I do.
Okay, all right, that's what we hear.
The reason I broke up with you is because you're disrespectful and don't know how to treat people is why I broke up with you.
Well, let me get some background from you. She is giving me some up to the storage issue, and we'll get back to that. But you give me some background on the relationship then.
Well, like she said, we met on Facebook and we argued for a month probably over who friend requested who, because she's very an argumentative person and disrespectful. And talking about a lunatic, we're dealing with a mentally unstable person here who cuts herself and acid washes her skin 3 layers deep. So, and she's dated a guy that's married for over 20 years off and on, who stalks and harasses her. And
I object, Your Honor. He knows nothing about my past life.
Basically, she papers over her windows so the guy can't see if she's home or not. So we, like she said, we dated about 3 months, actually broke up after I came back here in January. We broke up in March.
Why couldn't she just put curtains up, sir?
I don't know. She had paper over her garage windows so he wouldn't see the light was on.
Okay.
So when I was up there, I kind of felt like I had a target on my back because I didn't know whether this guy was going to show up or what the hell he was capable of. So, but we got through all of that.
Again, I object, Your Honor. He doesn't know anything.
Let him
about
finish.
my
No, I
past
don't know
life.
anything.
We're
You
here
told me everything you told me. So I'm going by what you told me, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was down here, we talked a lot on the phone and FaceTimed and stuff like that. And she just doesn't know how to talk to people and very disrespectful.
Give me some examples. You've said disrespect a few times, so give me a couple of examples, or even one.
She would call me names. She would call me, I hate to cuss and everything, but she would tell me shut up all the time. And I always ask her, since I have a psychology background, it's like, why do I deserve to be treated like this and told shut up all the time and, called me, called names and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that. And I always ask her.
Did you do that, ma'am?
If you don't talk to your own mother like that, well, why would you talk to me like that?
Did you, ma'am?
I don't remember that. I know the time that we got into our final fight, he said something that was totally off the wall. And I said, I thought that was stupid. And that was like the fight that ended it all.
All right. Okay.
Well, yeah, I got
she's-
tired of being told, shut up. I mean, I got tired of being talked to like that. I mean, it's like, that's the bottom line. It was just a matter of disrespect.
Okay. And you want to get into the storage fee? How did that come about? Tell me what's going on with the storage.
So he was like frustrated and just all over the place about, he had these 2 storage lockers in St. Louis, and he wanted to get the contents out, and he had fallen behind on those storage locker fees, and just really needed to get them. If I would lend him the money so that he could pay this backlog of storage fees, then he would get them out and all would be well. Well, that snowballed into him looking on the internet saying, well, I didn't realize it was that much. I need a U-Haul truck. And it was like, they're only $300. If I could get a U-Haul truck, I could put all the contents in the U-Haul truck and take it back to Florida. But then it got to be, well, I need movers. I can't do all this by myself. So by the time it was all done, it ended up to be over $6,000. So
No, it wasn't. It was $4,200, and you offered to help because you were my girlfriend, but we were girlfriend and boyfriend, and you offered to help.
Object.
And I told you I would get you back when and if I could, when I got ahead of the game. And I left you, and I gave you stuff out of my locker. I gave you stuff out of my locker. I gave you an exercise bike worth about $1,200. I gave you you got an emerald diamond ring that's worth about $800. And finally, I just told you to sell it.
we basically broke up after Gary went back to Florida after he'd received everything he needed from me. And he made a dumb excuse to break up with me, get into a fight with me on the phone. So I guess he didn't have to deal with me.
Okay, so you believe he hustled you?
I do.
Plaintiff Judy Salvaggio dated the defendant, but she claims after he used her for money, he broke up with her.
Okay, now let's get to agreements. What was the agreement, you say, regarding the storage fees and the movers? What was the agreement to repay? Was there one, and what was it?
Okay, so the agreement was that he would pay me back. Like the way he made it sound to begin with, now his story has evolved, obviously. But to begin with, it was, I will be able to pay you back. I have jobs waiting, painting jobs waiting, soon as I get back to Florida, and I will be able to start repaying you within a couple weeks. Now, I might not be able to repay you it all at once, but I will start paying you back, you know, as immediately as I get a few of these jobs back. And I do have evidence, a text message in artifact number 11.
All right, let me ask him. Did you say that? Did you tell her you would pay her at any point?
I was a good guy, and I said I would get you back if and when.
Well, what happened to you? What happened to you?
I didn't have the money then, and I don't have the money now.
You got knocked in the head? What happened? You said you were a good guy, so what happened?
I still
How'd
am
you
a
go
good
from
guy,
good guy to getting sued?
She offered as a boyfriend girlfriend. She offered
I'm just
to help me out,
saying, you said you were a good guy, and that's why you told her you'd give her money back, but now you're in court defending it. So I'm asking, what happened to the good guy?
Well, I'm still here.
Well, then pay her then. Well, why won't you do what you said?
She offered to help, and I took it. I mean, we didn't talk that much.
And you said I was a good guy, so I agreed to pay her. So why wouldn't you do it now?
Because I don't have the money.
So that's the only barrier is not having the money.
The thing is, she waited 18 months.
No. That we're beyond that. We're at good guy paying because you're still a good guy.
Well,
you said I'd pay.
What's the difference in her taking my exercise bike and my ring and all of that and not giving that
She
back?
might not be as good as you. Are you as nice? Are you as nice as him? To give him credit for the bike and the ring?
Well, Your Honor, I have his ring right here.
Okay.
And I am more than willing to give that ring back. He gave that ring to me the first weekend he was there, and I would be more than happy to give the ring back. As far as the exercise bike, this exercise bike was an item that came out of the storage lockers. And it had a $25 yard sale tag on it. I mean, it wasn't electric or nothing. It was like this pedal bike that was made out of all plastic. And he was trying to sell it for $25 and it didn't sell. And honestly, I did not want that bike. I've had really nice quality workout equipment, and that bike was like literally after we broke up in a few months, I gave it to a nonprofit. I mean, it had a $25 yard sale.
Two things. Sounds like I'm hearing something was a gift. Certainly the ring wasn't in the storage, right? That was just a ring as a gift.
Yes.
And you can't take a gift back, sir. The gift has been completed. It's her property. And
no, it wasn't a gift. It wasn't a gift.
What was it?
I gave it to her because we thought we had a future together, and I left it there.
Why did you give it to her? What did you expect her to give the ring back to you?
Well, yeah, I was going to take it back to Florida with me, and she refused.
Right, because it was no longer yours.
Okay.
It's only a conditional gift if you're giving it in contemplation of marriage, and that is if it's a engagement ring.
So does that pertain to money too? Because when she offered to help me out with the storage fees, I mean, she gave me the money.
Depends on the agreement. There was no agreement on the ring other than, here, baby, this is your gift. Now, you say you have text for me to read something regarding the fees that you're suing him for.
Okay, sir. So I have a text message, sir, Judge Mathis, and it is artifact on page 10 and 11. And I asked him, I said, "Hi, Gary, are you working yet? I am still looking to get paid back for the money I lent you. Thank you, Judy."
Why couldn't she just put curtains up, sir?
I don't know. She had paper over her garage windows so he wouldn't see the light was on.
Okay.
So when I was up there, I kind of felt like I had a target on my back because I didn't know when this guy was going to show up or what the hell he was capable of.
Plaintiff Judy Salvaggio dated the defendant, but she claims after he used her for money, he broke up with her.
I'm going to read the key text, sir, and ask you to respond to this. As I told you, when I have it, payments will start. That's an agreement to pay. Sounds like it to me.
All right. And she's false about my evidence is the check that she cashed for $427, dated 2/11/19, what she cashed. So I did pay some of it back because I have a cash check. I mean, it's like.
What page does your evidence show a $400 check that you paid her?
I believe it's page 2, I think.
All right.
Mistaken.
Ma'am, he has something, $427 from Gary to Judy.
Okay, so the $427 is for Gary and I were broke up. And Gary called me. He was broke down on the road in his truck in Florida, and he had to get his truck fixed. It was the only vehicle he had. So literally, he begged me on the phone, and after I'd already given him all this money that I knew.
You're hysterical.
Okay, so this is an additional amount of money.
This is something totally
different. Okay. Sir, this isn't the storage fee or the cost of the movers?
Well,
no.
Okay. And sir, your credibility is shot anyway. You said you never agreed to pay her. And that's the first thing she points out is the text talking about how and when and you're trying to pay her. Have a good day. Judging for the plaintiff.
You know, I'm just glad this is over, sir. I had never met anyone like this, and I really wasn't prepared to know how to deal with it. So this was one experience I never want to go through again.
I'm glad it's over too, and I am glad you are gone and out of my life because what a psychopath. Go back to dating your married guy, and have him slap you around like he's done off and on for 20 years.
Plaintiff Janice Jones says when she was 13, she discovered the only father she had ever known may not be her biological father. Janice believes the defendant's father may be her father. so she petitioned the court for a sibling DNA test. Defendant Leroy Walker Jr. says when Janice first told him about her suspicions, he admits that some parts of her story added up, but others simply didn't. So Leroy doesn't know what to believe.
All right, we're here today to determine whether you all are siblings, correct?
Yes, sir.
And to that, we have a DNA test. Let's start with you, Ms. Jones.
Okay, Judge. When I was 13 years old, I broke one of my mother's cardinal rules. One of her rules was do not go in my bedroom and do not look through my important papers. Well, she left me home alone one day. I was bored, so I decided to go and search through those important papers and find out what it is she didn't want. I was bored.
Because she told you not to.
Because she said don't do it.
Like
I went and I did it.
Good, like that.
Don't eat that apple, right?
Right. Go ahead.
Probably the same consequences too. But as I was going through the papers, I found a packet with my name on it. And in the packet, I found my original birth certificate. And I'd never seen it before.
And what impression did that give you?
The birth certificate had my mother listed, my mother's name, her maiden name, my father's name, ages, everything looked normal on it. But then there was another document that looked similar to that one. And so I opened it up and I looked at it, and the information was different. It had my mother's name listed, 17 years old at the time of my birth. But then it had father listed as Leroy Walker. And
so you found two birth certificates with two different fathers.
Absolutely.
All right, and when you asked your mom, or did you ever ask?
When she came home later that day and found me pretty distraught over the whole situation, yeah, I had to explain what was going on.
And what happened?
She told me that when she met my dad, the man that I had known as my father, I was already 6 months old. When they got married, 4 years later, he legally adopted me. And that the man on the other birth certificate was my biological father. When she was 16, she told him she was pregnant. He asked her to marry him. She said no, and she never saw him again. And so, again, like I said, I'm pretty distraught.
At that time?
I was a mess at that point, yes. My father
So what is,
has been very, very good to me. He's still alive, and he's still very good to me. I was very blessed that he came into my mother's life when he did and decided that he was going to take care of me, and he's done a great job of that.
And what did you do between age 13 and today? Why do we get to it now?
For, like I said, about a year, for 13 to 14, I let it bother me, and I acted out as a result of that. And my mother kind of let me get away with it, understanding that I was pretty distraught. But after a year, she sat me down and she said, listen, I love you. I'm your mother. I'm biologically programmed to love you. But that man, he came into my life and he chose from day one that he was going to love you. And until you knew the truth, until you found out the truth, you would have never known that he wasn't your father. So I need you to get it together. And I thought about what she said, and she was correct. My father loved me. I was always introduced and thought of by the whole entire family as Harold's oldest daughter. And he's never treated me.
You ever feel the need to meet your biological father?
After that day, I didn't. I didn't think anything of it. Well, she left me home alone one day. I was bored, so I decided to go and search through those important papers and find out what it is she didn't want. I was bored.
Because she told you not to.
Because she said don't do it.
Like
I went and I did it.
Good, like that.
Don't eat that apple, right?
Right. Go ahead.
Plaintiff Janice Jones believes she and the defendant may share the same father, so she petitioned the court for a sibling DNA test.
So how do we come to today?
About 2016, 2017, I received a friend request on Facebook from Leroy Walker Jr. And of course, that kind of freaked me out a little bit. So I accepted the friend request in anticipation of hearing something from this young man stating that we're related. But nothing ever came. We just became Facebook friends.
Did you ask each other?
Not until this year. It wasn't until this year.
What made you ask this year?
Something from his profile popped up in my timeline, indicating he was, I think, celebrating he and his wife's anniversary. And I decided to reach out to him. So I sent him a Facebook inbox explaining everything I just explained to you, and I asked if he had any information about Leroy Walker that he could give me so that I may
think
know
that would
whether
be
or
a
not.
distraction for his anniversary? Why'd you wait to that? Why'd you wait to that special time to do it? All right, let me hear from you, sir.
First of all, Judge,
Go ahead.
when she reached out to me,
Now let's start when you were younger. Did you hear anything about his sister?
no, Judge, not anything about us.
Okay, so she reached out.
So at 2017, she popped up, that we had 34 friends. So I'm like, she's from the neighborhood, 34 friends. She know everybody I know, which is usually how we, a lot of the friend requests go like that. So I just sent her friend request because she grew up in my neighborhood. We knew each other. We knew we knew a lot of the other people. We didn't know each other, so I sent her a friend request. Never said anything to her. Happy birthday if it pops up it's her birthday, or if something pops up.
You all
I'm
didn't
like,
begin a consistent communication.
No,
Ever?
Judge, never. We didn't start a communication until March of this year.
So when did she reach out to you regarding your anniversary? You had?
No. She may have reached my anniversary. I don't know. It wasn't my anniversary. My anniversary is in
Was it
June.
anniversary or birthday?
Something popped up. It was a picture of him and his wife. I can't remember exactly what it was, but something.
So she says it was a picture of you and your wife.
Yes.
And what did you receive?
Yes, I got an inbox from her, and she explained everything that she just explained to you to me, and I'm reading it, and the thing that shocked me the most is because I had talked to my wife within a matter of a month or so about, man, I wonder if I got any brothers and sisters out there. It would be nice if I had one.
Wow.
So when I showed this to her, she was like, oh my God. I was like, I know. But there's some things that add up because she was telling, once we started communicating, she said, her mother said my father's name was Leroy Walker. That's true. He's from Arkansas. That's true. But she said on the birth certificate, it says he's 17 when she was born. That would make him 12 or 13 when I was born. So that, and then he asked her mother to marry her, not to say that my daddy didn't do that, but he was married to my mama. And I wouldn't stand here and say that my daddy is not her father, because in the 60s, my daddy was a Rolling Stone. He was in the streets of Detroit, and he was in them heavy.
You guys from Detroit?
Yes, sir.
What years?
In the 60s, 70s.
Was he heavyweight?
Yeah, but he wasn't a drug dealer. He was a
Numbers man?
He was numbers. He shot pool. He rolled dice.
After hour joint?
He ran them. After hour joints,
What's
all
his name?
that.
Leroy Walker?
Yes.
You think your dad ran into him?
No, I know a lot of OGs in Detroit, back from even the 60s. Anyhow, we'll move forward. And with regard to questions of your father.
Well, Judge, my immediate family, my father, my mother, and my sister, they're all deceased.
Got it.
I joined the military in 1986, and I stayed there for 30 years.
Wow.
They passed away throughout that time, and we never had a discussion about a child or me having a sibling. So there was nobody I could ask.
Okay.
But if she's my sister, I will be probably the happiest person on the planet because I have
Second
no...
happiest. Second happiest. I think.
Second happiest. So you'll be the
I'd be
happiest.
the happiest.
All right. Let's see.
Plaintiff Janice Jones believes she and the defendant may share the same father, so she petitioned the court for a sibling DNA test.
Well, sometimes when things happen around the same time frame, even the parents are a little confused, and I don't know how they make their choices on what to believe unless they have a DNA test. And in this case, we've done a DNA test, and you all aren't related. So Sorry about that. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Sad. Pretty sad. He's been awesome since my initial contact with him. I kind of wish that I had taken his advice. At one point he said to me, let's just forget about all of the DNA and decide that we are brother and sister and go from there. And so I'm pretty sad about this. I do have a gift though for the judge. I'm an author and I wanted to leave him with a couple of my books. Thank you.
Well, but you know, by me having no more siblings, no mom, no dad, you know, this was my opportunity to have a close family member or immediate family member, and we've been communicating over the phone, and I love her now. So, I mean, she's my sister.
Great. Awesome.
Plaintiff Crystal Wiggins says the defendant is her daughter, and Crystal is hoping to repair their relationship today. Crystal is suing because she loaned her truck to the defendant, and after it broke down, she abandoned it. Defendant Deanna Wiggins admits she ran away a lot when she was younger and was not the easiest child to deal with. Deanna claims her mother is suing her for more than she owes.
Start with you.
I'm here trying to get a relationship back with my daughter that has been...
What happened to it?
Since high school, she just wants to go her own way, do her own thing. She had a child in 2012.
How old was she?
Can't even remember. I know she's 30 now. So.
Okay. And that was 8 or 9 years ago.
Yes.
Does that mean she was 21 or 22?
Yes, yes.
Or 22 or 23?
Yes.
Said in high school you had problems? So
yes.
Trying to get the problems you've had with her.
At one point, I couldn't get her to stay home. And I talked to the authorities and the schools and stuff about her. And the advice that they gave me at the time was, as long as she's going to school, there was nothing that they could do about it.
What do you mean she was running away and living something? Where would she live?
I have no idea. Just
to this day?
To this day, just with whomever, wherever.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me hear from you. You give me some background on your relationship with your mother?
Yeah, I was a runaway child, but I stayed.
Ran away how often?
I was running away a couple of times.
Couple?
I went to it, yeah, because I'll go back.
Over the course of how long? How many years?
I say from when I started high school to the 11th grade, because...
Okay, so over 2 years you ran away twice?
Yeah, I ran away, yeah. I was running away. I would
you
go
said
back.
Twice?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a big, when you say I was running away, that implies that it was quite a bit.
Yeah.
Twice is a lot different than quite a bit over the course of a couple of years.
Yeah.
So where would you go?
I was going to a friend's house.
All right, and the same place? And how long would you stay those 2 times?
Like either 1 to 2 weeks, sometimes like that. But I was still going to school or whatever.
And your mother didn't know, no one knew where you were staying?
No, she would try to get in touch with me, but you know, I wasn't trying to be found, so yeah, she really couldn't get in touch.
School didn't know where you were staying?
No. Okay. They just knew I was coming to school.
How about the place you were staying?
I was staying with a friend.
Yeah, their parents.
She didn't know I was running away.
I know, but she didn't talk with you and ask about your mother. Does your mother know you're here? Are you staying? How long are you gonna stay here, honey?
No, she didn't ask.
And then how old were you?
Around that time I was like 16, because I fell behind, so I was older and a younger.
So at 16, some parent let you stay with them without talking to your mother. That's what I'm trying to get across as well.
Yeah.
Defendant Deanna Wiggins is being sued by her mother, who says after today, she's hoping she can repair her relationship with Deanna.
Let's get to what you're suing her about. You're suing her about a car and the cost of auto repairs. Tell me about that.
Back in December, I let Deanna borrow my truck. I told her, Deanna, you can use this to take care of your...
20?
Of 20, yes. To take care of your business, and you'll be able to bring the boys back and forth, you know, and get your vehicle together, and then bring mine back. I didn't know, like, I guess about in March, is when I found out that it had broken down. She didn't tell me at the time. I didn't know that it had broken down in Chicago, which I had told her, don't be on the highway in the truck. She told me, and then I really never heard anything else about it, about her trying to get it back to me.
It wasn't in good shape?
I had just got repairs on it, so it was, I guess, actually in better shape than I knew, because I told her not to be on the highway in it.
When the repairman gave it back to you, which had been recent?
Yes. I'm sorry.
The repairman said to you,
he didn't say that.
You give him your money.
Yes.
And he says, okay, I fixed your car. Thank you for your money.
Yes.
Just don't you get on that freeway.
No, he didn't. The repairman did not tell me that.
Don't go over 15 miles an hour.
I'm sorry, no. The repairman did not tell me that. I told her that.
Why?
I didn't want her on the highway in it because I had just got it fixed and
That's the point. So now she can go on the highway because you just got it fixed. Unless your repairman said, I didn't fix it well enough for you to go on the highway.
I'm sorry, Judge. Well, yes. Well, I knew that how unresponsible that she could be, and that if something like this happened, that she would not take responsibility for it exactly as it has been.
And what did happen again?
As far as I know, she just told me that it broke down on the way up here the second time, and that's all I heard.
Okay. And the $3,700 is for what? For the car and the repairs? For what?
For the cost of the car and the repairs.
How much did the car cost?
I paid $2,700 for it.
All right. And where's the car now?
As far as I know, still in Chicago. She just informed me the other day that they may be towing it, so I guess that's be.
How long ago was it?
Like last week that she told me that they would be towing it because I told her.
When did she leave it? When was it left on the side?
In March, as far as I know.
Okay, and you think they're just getting around to towing it since March?
Yes.
On the side of the freeway? Okay.
Well, at someone's house.
Oh, okay. She was having it towed. It wasn't being towed because it was parked illegal.
I think that it was under a no parking sign.
Okay.
I asked her about that, and she was like, well, if it's any tickets, they'll let me know. And I'm just now knowing about it. She really never discussed anything about it.
So, okay, that's why you don't know when and whether it was towed or whether it should have been towed in March.
Exactly.
You know nothing. All you know, you let her use your car and it's gone, and all you've been getting is stories ever since.
I haven't even been getting stories.
Just
She never even responded to me about it.
Ghosted you?
Yes.
Ma'am?
Okay. I took the car and I brought it here and it stopped on me at the end of February. I didn't tell her right away because I was trying to figure out what was going on with it so I could get it repaired myself since it was in my care and I know she's gonna complain about it and eventually here to sue.
Why would she have to sue you?
That's the same thing I feel.
No.
That's the same thing.
You knew she was eventually going to sue you?
Yeah, that's why
you wouldn't have to know that if you knew you were going to pay her for the damage you did to her.
Right. But
why would somebody have to sue? Why would a mama have to sue her child when the child has damaged her property?
Defendant Diana Wiggins is being sued by her mother, who says after today, she's hoping she can repair her relationship with Diana.
Why would a mama have to sue her child when the child has damaged her property? The child should be able to say, be decent enough to say, Mama, I damaged your property, but I'm going to pay you, and here's a payment arrangement. Not, well, I damaged mama's property, so she gonna sue me. Why does mama have to sue their child? Why doesn't the child call mama back instead of ghosting her? Call mama back. Mama, I destroyed your property. Mama, give me a payment plan because I can't afford to do it now. Mama, can't talk to you right now. Mama, I ain't answering that. That's mama. I don't know what I'm gonna tell her. Mama, Oh, I know she ain't gonna do nothing but sue me, so ain't no sense in me answering this call, because she gonna sue me. Instead of saying, hey, Mom, yeah, I got some bad news. What, girl? Well, let me just start and say nobody hurt or anything, but the car stopped when I was on the such and such. What do you want me to do? But let me just tell you, whatever it is I did, if I did anything wrong, my mom will take care of it. You ain't got to say, I'm going to get sued. Who does that unless they don't intend to pay, ever? Go ahead, ma'am.
No, I actually, when I found out what was wrong with the truck, I actually offered to pay her for the truck, because she actually
After
offered
how long?
to pay me. Huh?
After how long?
After, I texted her.
You don't even know how long you had the car before you texted her. When did it break down?
It broke down at the end of February. February 23rd. Then I had to figure out what was going on with the truck.
What do you mean by that? Figure out how?
I had to see what was going on with the truck to make it not start.
To fix it?
Yes.
All right, so how long did that take?
It took like 2 weeks, because I went back home because I had to go to work.
How did you? Okay, got it. Let's move right along. So it took you 2 weeks to have it checked out, and you still ain't calling mama. Got it. All right. So the cost of the car, you want how much? $2,700, you said, yes. And the repairs $1,000.
Yes.
All right. And your defense is what again?
That she was going to sell it to me for $1,500. We agreed. I asked her, could I buy it for $1,000? She said $1,500. I have the texts.
Which page?
Page 1.
Okay, and did you pay the $1,500?
No.
Why?
Because that's when because I was trying, because she asked me, why do you get to have 2 cars? Mm-hmm. So that's when we actually started talking about it, and I said, okay. Because she told my boyfriend that if we pay her $100 for the tax...
Stop with this nonsense. I don't even understand what you're talking about. Let's get to the agreement. Read where it says $1,500. We have an agreement.
And then she asked me, but it's okay for you to have 2 vehicles. And then I said, can I do $1,200? Because I'm almost paid up off my debt of what I had left of money. And then she said, if you knew...
Let's get to the $1,500, ma'am.
And then she asked
directed me to this page saying that you all I'll see an agreement that you all had for $1,500. Just read that part.
She didn't say that.
Oh,
all I said was,
okay, so you didn't have an agreement. You're perpetrating the fraud against the court when you say that something is on there and it's not.
Well, I think that
all right, judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day. You directed me to something that's not there at all. Sounds like to me you had a proposed agreement and she declined it. Is that what happened, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And now you want the value of your car.
Yes,
I know. I'm a lawyer and a judge. Judgment for the plaintiff. I know how this goes.
Okay. We can get back together as a family, you know. It's just, I keep telling you, it's just me and you now.
I know that it's just me and the boys.
You and them boys.
But I guess as soon as this gets all cleared up and whatever.
You shouldn't even took this. I mean, that has nothing to do with my grandkids. You're right, it shouldn't even went this far.
I felt like if you would have just waited, you actually would have had your truck, because I actually found a way of getting it fixed.
How long do I have to wait? You ain't said nothing to me about it.